Hello. Thanks for tuning in, and today we'll be playing Zomewhere Else. So I got introduced to Fred. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Today we'll be playing Zomewhere Else. We got introduced to Chad last time. So about to meet Fred now, who is a friend of his that he hasn't seen in a long time. The storm continues to pelt you with rain as you sit there, motionless, your long-forgotten acquaintances being consumed by grief. He's grabbing his chest as he soon falls to his knees, almost as if his heart was literally breaking. He's doing his best to stop his sobs, but he can't seem to control the floodgates. You want to feel for his soul. A part of you wants to comfort him, but you can't feel anything for him. Memories of the past flood you with anger. You remember how he ruined you. Why did it have to be him? You do your best to look away as if he wasn't even there. Chad? You see him slowly standing up from the corner of your eye. He slowly moves towards you. Chad, it's you, isn't it? It's gotta be you. I know it's you. His voice is tender and broken. Where have you been? Are you okay? Say something, please. You look at him for a second before turning away from him. Sorry. You got the wrong person, pal. Chan, I've been so worried. Why are you... I don't know you, okay? So fuck off. He looks at you, stunned and offended. His shoulders growing tense. You continue to look away in disgust. Chan, you can't be serious. I've been looking for you. I said fuck off, you... Before you can even take another breath, he grabs you by your muddy shirt and lifts you off the bench single-handedly. Hey, what the fuck? You try to pry his hands off with your own, but he has an iron grip on you. You hear your shirt ripping under his clawed hand. Now's not the time to screw around, Chad. Let me go, man. I spent every single day looking for you, hoping that maybe, just maybe, you could be alive. I moved heaven and earth trying to find you for 10 fucking years. Yeah, but you don't know all the pain I've gone through. You'll never know all the grief you put me through. Those last few words ignite hateful waves inside of you. Go fuck yourself. Talk about the grief I put you through. You gotta be shitting me. Excuse me? You may think you're right, but you've only said one correct thing so far. You did see Chad die 10 years ago. He's gone. He's been gone this whole time. He's never coming back. So you better get over it. You little. You ready your fist. There's only one way this will end. Now get your disgusting paws off me. You deliver a haymaker straight to his jaw with as much force as you can. The punch lands and Fred instantly lets go of you, stumbling back a few steps. Hey, what's happening over there? You hear Kathy's voice coming from the bridge. Fred's just standing there, trying to recollect himself. You stare down at him. unsure what he might do next. You expect something more drastic from him, but he just looks at you, completely motionless. I guess you're right. He covers his face with his hand, trying to hide his tears from you. His tears hit the ground soon small drops of blood follow. The red mixes with the rain. I see you're not that Chad anymore. Not the sweet little Chad knew, right? The German Shepherd wipes his eyes with his sleeve as a few sobs escape his mouth. He does his best to avoid the bleeding gas of his cheek. Please do me a favor. Take this money. Give it to the cafe lady over there. He puts his hand out to you, presenting a few bills and coins. Those cafes are pretty great. You should give it a try. I can't let them see me like this. If that Chad ever comes back, please let me know. He rudely snatched the money from his hand. Fine, just get out of my side already. I'm fucking sick of you. Fred looks at your eyes one last time. He's met with nothing but anger. It seems he lost his will to fight, only looking at the ground before walking away. You turn your head to see him make his way out of the park. Outside hits your clenched jaw as you begin to calm down. What the fuck was his problem? Why did he grab me like that? Can't help but look around and ball your fist, still partially riled up with the adrenaline in your system. Think about how helpless you were. You could have been ruined by him considering his strength. When did he get so strong? He lifted me up like I was a kid. The last I saw him, we were still kids. You clench your fist tight enough for your claws to dig into your palms. Why am I so angry still? The pain quickly snaps you back into reality. More hot air passes through your teeth. A few seconds pass and you're finally able to relax. Your tense muscles begin to feel warm. Regret washes over you. Why did I do that to him? What he did happen a decade ago, but if you didn't know any better, it feels like it's only been a week since that fateful day. Well, it did happen a decade ago, but if you didn't know any better, it feels like it's only been a week since that fateful day. You turn around once more to see Fred in the distance, his silhouette beginning to fade from view. Hey, what up? You have to pay for that cup. Huh? Your hand looks back to see the tiny Thorny, who you're certain is his mom. Both of them rushing in your direction. The small kitten dares at you as they both run past you and towards the German Shepherd. Hey, ma'am, wait up. I have his money here. Don't worry. You wave the money at them as they quickly turn around, seemingly relieved to see it. The mom sighs as she catches her breath, walking back to the bench. He gave it to me before he left. Apparently he had an appointment or something. Here you go, ma'am. She accepts the money with a grateful smile and a tilt of the head. Well, thank you so much. You know, you probably could have just taken the money and ran. We wouldn't have been able to catch you by now. The thought that they'd see you as a lowly criminal willing to steal from a mother her kid made your heart sink more than you'd like to. Mom, don't say that about Mr. Chad. He's cool. Sorry, I don't mean to assume. It's just that it's happened to us many times. Yeah, we've gotten stuff stolen from us in this very park, Mr. Chad. Thorny pouts mournfully, probably thinking about all the fur-night skins he could have asked his mother to buy. Thorny pouts mournfully, probably thinking about all the fur-night skins he could have asked his mother to buy him. Really? I'm so sorry, Kathy. You scratch your head, dumbfounded by how common theft must be. It's alright, sweetie. I never go after them anyways. It makes you think of things differently. You may have it bad, but if someone is desperate enough to steal a little bit of money, maybe they have it a lot worse than you. Forgive me for assuming once again. Anyways, how long have you been on the streets? You're homeless, right? I haven't seen you around here before. Plus, you and your clothes have seen better days. Kathy looks at your wet, mud-splattered clothes, sunken eyes, and torn backpack. Even if you've been homeless for less than a day, you do look the part. You notice that Tony seems to be curiously staring off into the woods behind you. Whatever it is has its attention. You turn your attention back to Kathy, who's still waiting for an answer. Well, I've only been homeless for a few hours. Mainly because of what? The effects from this horrid day are too dull to recall. You just want everything to go back to normal. It won't, no matter how much you pray it would. Maybe. Kathy lets Tony's new hat off his head, trying to get his attention. Hey. Tony quickly puts his hat back in place again. Kathy points at her box for coffee and winks at as obviously as possible. He seems to realize what she's suggesting with a small grin. Is it because the cat face? Got your tongue? Huh, gotcha. Tony airdrones once again. You tilt your head, confused as to why they're laughing. It takes a few seconds to understand their pun. Once you do, you feel a little embarrassed. Nonetheless, it makes you laugh a little. Yeah, you're starting to feel somewhat better. This is the first time we've made that joke work. Tony made a little jump and high-fives Kathy. Good job, sweetheart. Kathy looks back at you, a sincere, warm smile on her face. I know this may sound silly, but I have a good feeling about you. You seem like a decent, respectable guy who's been put into a bad situation. Plus, Tony is always good at telling who's trustworthy. He seems to really like you. Yeah, Mr. Cherry gave me this super awesome hat. The small kitten lifts his arm victoriously, a smile beaming on his face. Alrighty, it's settled then. You're going to stay with us until you're back on your feet. That is, unless you really like this old park bench. Kathy lightly kiss it with her feet, coyly shaking her head. Let's get going. We've been under the rain for way too long, and you're absolutely drenched. You can't believe what she's suggesting. It takes a minute for you to process her proposition. Wait, what? You barely know me. I would never accept some random stranger into my house. Trust me, I wouldn't either, but I know you're a good guy. How do you know you can trust me? Before he can argue against her offer, Tony grabs her hand, lightly tugging it with a smile. Before he can argue against her offer, Tony grabs your hand, lightly tugging it with a smile. Well, I can use some help in return for you staying with us. And look at Tony. I never seen him so happy. He has already made up his mind. There's no turning back now. But do you really want to stay out here? You're taken aback by their sincerity. You've never been shown such kindness, much less while being so vulnerable and meek. Tony moves your hand to make you move forward, so you start walking with them. Alright, amigo, let's go. You feel powerless to stop the kitten's light tugging. His hand firmly gripping two of your fingers. You hold onto your bag as the three of you make your way out of the now dimly lit park. You're not sure which direction you're headed, but you know the small town well enough. You recognize some of the landmarks you passed through. The rain continues to pelt you. Tony and Kathy, they're not feeling well as cold winds Before you can argue against her offer, Tony grabs your hand, lightly tugging it with a smile. Well, I could use some help in return for you staying with us, and look, I thought I've never seen him so happy. He has already made up his mind. There's no turning back now. But I... Do you really want to stay out here? You're taken aback by their sincerity. You've never been shown so much kindness, much less while being so vulnerable and meek. Thinking moves your hand to make you move forward, so you start walking with them. Alright, amigo, let's go. You feel powerless to stop the kitten's light tugging, his hand firmly gripping the two of you.
Video progress on 30 minutes.
Kind of sweet. 3 million people. 3 million people, right? Oh, anyway, here. Before you can argue against her offer, Thorny grabs your hand, lightly tugging it with a smile. Well, I could use some help in return for you staying with us. And look at Thorny, I've never seen him so happy. He has already made up his mind. There's no turning back now. But do you really want to stay out here? You're taken aback by their sincerity. You've never been shown such kindness, much less by being so vulnerable and meek. Thorny moves your hand to make you move forward, so you start walking with them. Alright, amigo, let's go. You feel powerless to stop the kitten's light tugging, his hand firmly gripping two of your fingers. You hold onto your bag as the three of you make your way out of the now dimly lit park. You're not sure which direction you're headed, but you know the small town well enough. You recognize some of the landmarks you pass through. The rain continues to pelt you. Thorny and Kathy, you're not feeling well as cold winds begin to chill your bones. You'll try to walk at a faster pace, hoping to get somewhere warm. The walk is lined with some impressive looking homes. This is definitely the nice part of town. The two finally come to a stop in front of a small, quaint house. Well, here we are, home sweet home. Kathy stands in front of the entrance, grabbing her keychain and unlocking the door. She holds it open for you and Thorny. The small kitten glides inside enthusiastically. You're still unsure about the whole arrangement. Don't be shy, just hurry and get in. With your head down, you slowly enter through the door. You step inside with Kathy. Behind you, she closes the door and turns on the lights. You're greeted by a living room with a couch and chimney. You can tell that a lot of happy memories have taken place here. The room feels lived and rather than just decorated. There are toys in corners of the room, a mug and 2 plates on the coffee table, and some drawings and homework assignments next to them. It's a home by every definition of the word. Kathy then takes off the straps of the vending tray from her shoulders, followed by her scarf and her jacket, leaving the 2 pieces of clothes hanging on the wall. Tony took off his silk jacket as well, but left it on the ground. The mother cat picks it up with a quick shake off. Tony took off his silk jacket as well, but left it on the ground. The mother cat picks it up with a quick shake of the head, placing it lovingly on a coat hook. You leave your stuff over there if you like. Kathy points at the large 3-person couch in front of the fireplace. It's an inviting proposition that you don't turn down. Hey, sweetie, you know what to do. Alrighty, Mom. Tony zips back to his mom, receiving the now mostly empty vending tray. Let me light up the fireplace. We all need to dry off some. You place your bag on the couch as you throw some logs into the fireplace. You remain standing despite how weary your body feels, worried about messing up the leather seats. Funnily enough, the log bag has your now former company logo on it, Cool Logs. Oh, you got those from Cool Logs? Yeah, they're great and smell wonderful. Why do you ask, though? Well, I'm the guy that chops them. Well, used to chop them, but I got fired today. Why, you told us you became homeless just a few hours ago. What happened? Alright, before you can continue, Tony enters the room with Kathy's lighter, handing it to her before going back into the kitchen. Thanks, honey. Kathy ignites the tinder under the log. It doesn't take long for a fire to form and warm up the room. Kathy seems pleasantly satisfied with the flame, dusting her hands off before turning back to you. You go on and get cozy, sweetie. I'll make us all something warm to drink. I want chocolate milk. What about you, Chad? I have milk, tea, and of course coffee. Pick whatever you want. Oh, don't worry about me. I'll be alright. What about you, Chad? Her deep tone gaze pierces your soul. Tea is good, ma'am. Thank you. Alrighty, I'll probably sell it to months on too. Kathy makes her way to the kitchen with a small spring to her step. You hear the sound of mugs being placed on the counter. Tony slides 2 chairs from the kitchen table towards you, positioning them in front of the fireplace. He hops on one of them and passes the other seat while smiling at you. Here you go, Mr. Chad. If you get too hot, you can move the chair back. Thanks, Tony. You can't help but smile at Tony's eagerness to make you feel comfortable. The flame begins to envelop you in a soothing heat. Your chill bones begin to thaw in the fire's glow. Mr. Chad, the best way to enjoy a chimney is with the lights turned off. Tony rushes to the light switch to turn the lights off. The room now only illuminated by the warm light of the fire gives you a sense of ease. Kathy walks up behind the two of you with a set of filled cups and snacks. Tony eagerly accepts his tall glass of chocolate milk. Kathy then hands you a pleasantly hot cup of tea. Your fingers begin to thank you as they too begin to warm up from the cold. Thank you so much. Your lips are greeted by a sweet and strong mint flavor, making your tongue tingle and lungs open up. The pleasant tea gives you a second wind after everything that's happened today. God, this tea is excellent, Kathy. Mint flavor is one of my favorites, but this is probably the best I've ever had. I'm glad you like it. It's from my personal garden. Just be sure not to eat the mint leaves. Will do. Thank you for the tea. Don't thank me just yet. A cup of tea isn't complete without some cookies. Your eyes widen as Kathy hands you a dish with assorted cookies. Their warm sense of sugar, lemon, and cinnamon makes your heart skip a beat. You take a bite of a sunflower-shaped biscuit. A symphony of sweet citric flavors makes your mouth buzz in delight. You made these? These are absolutely delicious. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kathy chuckles as you miraculously finish the cookie, stopping in between bites and indulge yourself in the flavor. Who knew heaven could be so small? I'm glad you love the cookie as much as I love baking. I'm always excited to make sweets for Thorny, so don't be surprised if I send some your way too, honey. Yeah, my mom makes the bestest sweets in the world. You're right, and you're my favorite sweet in the world. Thorny smiles in delight, but soon Kathy turns to you expecting something. That being said, I'm ready to know what happened to you. The mother and son turn their attention to you, eagerly waiting for you to explain your predicament. Right, where did I begin? You start from the beginning and paint a picture of what might be the unlikeliest day of your life. You try to tell them everything they need to know, being careful to skip the unnecessary parts, like Toto's 3-hour-long conversation with himself. The fact that you were naked while trapped in the bushes. When you get to the more unusual details, you were expecting them to scoff a faint interest. However, they never seemed to doubt your words, fully enraptured, even sympathetic to your experience. You just met them today, so you do your best to balance honesty with brevity. Soon there are no more words to be said. The room grows quiet. That was... Good Lord, I'm so sorry, Chad. Kathy let out a deep sigh as if she was holding her breath throughout the entire story. Tony has a puzzled look on his face, holding his now empty glass. But what was in those bushes? I'm kind of scared. Not going to lie, I was scared too. I don't even know who or what that could have been. I don't think I ever want to go to the forest alone again. Tony, you're grounded from going into the forest by yourself. Thanks, Mom. The small kitten looks relieved, probably for the first time you've seen someone happily accept their punishment. Kathy rolls her eyes while smirking before looking at you once more. And they just threw your stuff out into the street? That's scummy. They could have waited for you to come back or called and texted you at least. Well, I wish they would have waited before. Well, I wish they could have waited because... You scratch the back of your head in embarrassment, knowing one of them is going to cackle at you. I actually don't have a phone, so they wouldn't have been able to call me anyways. Really? Well, you'll fix that later if you like. You tilt your head at Kathy, who was remarkably nonchalant about the topic. I'm glad you made it through all of that. It sounds like you've had quite the day. Yeah, but I'm happy we were able to save you, Mr. Chad. Thank you, guys. I really don't think I would have made it without you both. Is there any way I can repay you? Don't worry about it now, honey. We can figure that out later, but for now, you need a rest. Kathy pats your shoulder with a warm smile. Thorny sprints to your side, jumping with excitement. You can buy me some ice cream if you want to. You got yourself a deal. Yay! You can't help but chuckle at the kitten's enthusiasm. Hope there's some really nice ice cream places for the little guy. I feel happy, genuinely happy. It's almost surreal to you considering what it's been like today. In the past few months, it's almost too much for you to handle, but you stay strong. Kathy is slightly startled as she looks at her watch. It seems to be a bit later than she expected. Alright, it's time to head to bed, everyone. Especially you, Thorny. I'm going to wrap things up here. Chad, honey, your clothes still aren't dry yet, so go to your room and take a nice bath. Try not to stay up too late or you might catch a cold. And feel free to use anything in that bathroom. Everything in there is yours. Thank you so much, Kathy, for everything, really. You're welcome. You're very welcome, Chad. Kathy gives you a warm smile before turning to Thorny, who's already ready and attentive by your side. You're very welcome, Chad. Kathy gives you a warm smile before turning to Thorny, who's ready and attentive by your side. Can you take Chad to his room, sweetie? I'm going to clean up here and then give you your goodnight kisses. Sure, Mom. Please follow me, Mr. Chad. Good night, Kathy. Good night, Chad. Sweet dreams and sleep tight. I can't remember the last time that someone wished me a good night. Your heart flutters with warmth. You can't help but smile as you follow the tiny Tony. You make your way down a corridor of rooms, arriving at the door at the end of the hall. You're taken aback as Tony pushes you into the large wooden door, revealing an exorbitant room bathed in warm light. This is the best room. You're so lucky, Mr. Chad. You're greeted by a massive mattress laying on an ornate bed frame. The two wooden nightstands sit at the bed's sides. A deep closet sits next to another wooden door. Before you even finish appreciating the room, Tony grabs your hand and pulls you into another room next to the closet. He opens the wooden door next to the closet, making jazz hands after he flicks the light on. Ta-da! You have your own bathroom too. As my mom said, feel free to use everything here. And please take a shower. You're a musky husky. Hold on. Where on earth did you hear that from? The internet? You shake your head in embarrassment, a chuckle slipping past your tight exterior. Please sleep well, Chad. I've never seen someone who could use a good night. You could use a good nap like you do. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be busy for you, Mr. Chad. And thanks again for your hat. I love it. Thank you. The small kitten jumps with joy at the mere mention of the hat. He'll probably wear that until he's an old man. Tony gives you a smile before waving and heading to the door. Sweet dreams, Mr. Chad. Wait, Tony. The cat turns to you, slightly confused. You're a really good kid, you know that? Thank you, Mrs. Chan. Tony turns away in embarrassment, giving you a blustery smile as he closes the door. A content sigh escapes your lips as the exhaustion begins to really hit you. A shower is the only thing that could make this day better. You make your way into the bathroom. You look around for some showering basics. Despite Kathy saying you could use anything you like, you want to stick to the more frugal side and only take what you need. The bathroom is well stocked with a brand new roll of high quality toilet paper in the holder and pleasant smelling soaps abound. You spot a pair of scissors and a trimming razor and a cabinet next to the sink. You look at yourself in the mirror, looking out a place in this beautiful house with such wonderful people. Alright then, I've made up my mind. You take off your shirt. You grab the razor and scissors and start cutting your beard. I don't deserve such nice people. What have I done to earn their good passing? Even though they only met me a few hours ago, they were already treating me like family. I need to thank them somehow. There has to be a way. I'll start tomorrow. You think of all the ways you could pay them back. Your hair continues to fall into the scene the more you trim it. I'm tired of people having to care for me. I'll make sure they don't regret lending me a hand. You grab your hair and throw it into the garbage bag next to the toilet. You quickly rinse your face and look into the mirror. It takes you a second to recognize the man in the mirror. You're pleasantly surprised by how he looks now. But how long will this last? I lost so much today. My place, my job. I even met Frederick, and the first thing we did was fight. You're buttoning your jeans to slip off your underwear, both of them beginning to harden from the rain. Of all the people to meet today, it had to be him again. Of all the people to meet today, I had to see him again. I was happier when he thought I was dead. You step into the massive bathtub, closing the curtain before turning the handle to the cold water position. Why am I able to remember everything again? I thought I had left those days behind me. Everything I tried so hard to forget is back. I can't help but feel lost as the water envelops you. Any warmth Kathy and Tony had given you is stripped away by the icy water. It's almost like you never met them. The last time someone was this nice to me was Fred, and look how that turned out. Do I ruin every good thing that happens to me? Will I ruin this too? Your tears return, the one part of your life that seems to be consistent. And as they fall, they mix with the sour water. Silence, darkness, cold, waking. You can't see anything as you slowly start to regain consciousness. You feel cold stones pressing against your butt. A foul stench whips through your nostrils, making you gag a little. You're slow to open your eyes, afraid of what you might see. All you can make out is a soft light above you, but the rest is darkness. You can't see past your legs as you peer into the deep, black void. You try to move your arms, but are met by the sound of rattling chains. What is, huh? You seem to be bound to the stone wall behind you, with your arms pinned above your head. You do your best to wiggle yourself free from your chains, but the only thing you manage to do is make noise. You begin to feel helpless and panic. Your constant attempts at escape being met with failure. Long time no see, traitor. You hear a voice from within your head. Whoever is speaking to you is doing so in a way few know how. You feel a presence looming over your right side. You look and are met by two glowing eyes. Your head still feels like it's spinning, a massive pain echoing through your brain. This voice feels familiar. Who could it be? You peer into their eyes, trying to figure out how you know them, only for them to widen in fear. Look out! As a muffled footsteps start on the stone floor towards you. You quickly turn around, but it's already too late. A tall man stands over you, swinging a large object at max speed. Whoa! You're shocked away by what just happened. You find yourself sitting on the mattress, a cold sweat clothing your skin. The lights in the room are off. Confused, you look towards the window to see that it's late into the night. What was that? Was I dreaming? It felt so real, too real to just be a dream. Whose voice was that? I know it, but... You take a deep breath as you fall back onto the pillow. You feel drained after that nightmare. It's just a dream, so it's best to try and sleep the rest of the night. You sink back into the mattress, although you're still slightly startled. Your eyes begin to grow heavy, so you're in deep sleep. Soft beams of sunlight pass through the window's glass and kiss your skin. The brightness of the morning sun still becomes too much for you to ignore. It's finally time to wake up. You stretch your arms out before sitting up on the bed, still mostly asleep. You slowly open your eyes, rubbing the grime off of them. Despite that nightmare, you wake up remarkably refreshed. You slept well for the first time in a long time. Maybe you slept too well. You look down to see your little friend is ready to start the day too, fully erect and pitching a massive tent from the bed seats. Stop it, you. You refuse to stand down, demanding some attention. You ignore him. You look at the foot of the bed and see what looks like a fresh set of clothing. Kathy probably left it there while you were sleeping. She was quiet enough to not wake you. But then again, you were so drained that a bomb could have gone off next to you, and you would have been none the wiser. Crap, I hope she didn't see this. A cheery voice comes from down the hall. Breakfast is ready. Coming. You get off the amazingly comfortable mattress, almost wishing you didn't have to leave it behind. You look around for the clothes you were wearing yesterday, but they're nowhere to be found. You select the jeans, t-shirt, and underwear only to find they fit remarkably well. How on earth she finds such well-fitting clothes for you? Maybe she should take your clothes shopping from now on. As you're done getting ready for the day, you make sure all the lights are off and exit the room. You make your way down the hallway, your nose flooded with sweet smells, undoubtedly from the kitchen. You find Kathy humming away as she flips some food in the skillet. Morning. The mother cat looks out to see your new look, her eyes lighting up with joy. Well, Chad, look at you. You look like a brand new man, all handsome and good looking. Thanks. Kathy's words of adoration make you blush. You cover your face in embarrassment. She's way too nice to see you. She's way too nice to you. Go on and take a seat. I'll bring you some food in a sec. Did you sleep okay? Also, we got a lot to talk about today. You finally get to see what she's whipping up. A nice stack of flapjacks. Your mouth salivates at the sight. It's been so long since you've had some. It's been so long since you had some that you can barely remember the buttery taste. As you put a seat back and sit at the beautifully varnished table, you hear a pair of feet rustling from the corridor. Morning, everyone. Good morning, sweetheart. Go sit next to Chad and I'll bring you both breakfast. By the way, Chad, those clothes look really good on you. The haircut looks cool too. Tony smiles and shoots you finger guns, winking for extra pizzazz. Oh, thanks. The clothes are perfect, Kathy. Where did you find them? I had them stored somewhere. Don't worry about it. Sorry about sneaking into your room. I really wanted to get your clothes in the wash. Don't worry about it. It's your house after all. Sorry if I woke you. I was trying to be as quiet as I could be. You looked so peaceful. I was so asleep I didn't even notice you. It's been a while since I slept on a good mattress. Really? Where were you staying? I was renting a room at a less than trustworthy house. My housemates always made me lock my door twice. Not to mention the place itself was falling apart around me. I started to hear that. Well, now you have a good roof over your head. Anyways, breakfast is ready. I hope you like pancakes. Mom, you made pancakes? Those are my favorite. You always why didn't she brings you your plate? Power high nuts like Tony's. Whoa, are all these for me? Thanks so much, Kathy. My mom makes the best pancakes in the world, believe it. Where have I heard that before? Are you okay with coffee, Chad? You still haven't tried some of my cafe. Sure, I'd love to try it. Kathy drops off her plate at the table before stepping back into the kitchen to prepare your drink. You savor the first few bites, the sweet, buttery pancakes before looking at Tony, who is shoveling the food into his mouth. Hey, cowboy, slow down, would you? Tony, sweetie, please chew before you speak. Tony pouts as he concedes to his mom's wishes. Tony mockingly chews his food as loudly as he can with his mouth open. No food gets onto the table, thankfully, but you're admittedly a little put off. Tony gulps and then looks in your direction. See, this is what I was talking about. Did you say something, young man? Nothing, Mom. Good. You're surprised by Kathy's sternness. The tiny Tony's change in demeanor catches you off guard as well, but then again, he's just a little kid. You're not even a quarter of the way done with your food as Tony cleans his plate. The kitten holds his stomach. Seems like the little guy gave himself a tummy ache. Tony, now that you're done, go on and take a shower. Get ready for class. Okay, Mom. The kitten seems a little displeased, his tone a bit dour compared to what it normally is. Kathy thinks of hats and idea on the fly. Don't take too long. Chad's going to take you to school today. Really? You and Tony look at each other, the kitten's face lighting up like fireworks. Without another word, he jumps out of his seat and sprints to the bathroom. The mother cat chuckles as she walks back to the table, a steaming mug in her hand. It's a cafe. Sorry for the wait. Don't mention it. Thank you very much. So, what do you have planned for today? I haven't really thought about it. Yesterday I just took a shower and went to sleep. Well, if you're ready, the first thing I do is go out and try to find a job. Agreed. I don't want to take advantage of your kindness. I'll get a job and move out as soon as possible. As soon as I can, I promise. Don't worry so much about the second part. Tony loves being around you, and my husband still has a few days left on his business trip. Your husband? Yes. Tony's father and my husband. He's off doing work for his boss for a few more days, so just focus on finding a job. Will do then. When I get some money, I'll pay you back for the days I've stayed here. The enthusiasm is met with Kathy shaking her head, almost sullen at the prospect. You'll need the money more than I ever will, but there are other issues you can help me with. There are bigger fish to fry, so to speak. Bigger fish to fry? That doesn't sound too comforting. What kind of issues, if you don't mind me asking? When the time is right, you'll know. As for now, just enjoy your cafe. Oh, okay. Now it's not the time to disobey Mama Cat, who's coldly sipping her own cup. You take a sip of the cup of coffee. This cafe is delicious. Tee-hee is my secret recipe. I've been mastering it over the years. It has milk, right? I guess Fred has a point. Kathy perks up as she sees your delight for a coffee creation. However, the thought of Fred is making you noticeably somber. The cat is quick to pick up on this and hands you a small treat. Hey, here, Chan, try this with your cafe. It'll cheer you up. She starts to bake good into your hand. Regaining your attention, it looks like a small croissant, but with a flakier texture and coated in sugar. Before you combine the two, decide to bite into the sweet and dry and crunchy, but the layers are thin and sweet. The breading quickly melts in your mouth. It's a very simple and pleasant treat. Now try some with the cafe. Dig into the hearty munch, the croissant, and follow it up with a sip of the warm drink. The combination is almost indescribable. It's a perfect blend of the cinnamon, the coffee, the sugary sweetness, and even some buttery undertones you hadn't noticed before. Wow, this is brilliant. They're made for each other. Kathy smiles so brightly that you can see where Tony gets his signature grin from. Oh, if you think that's a perfect combo, you got another thing coming, honey. Try this one with the cafe and this one too. You're barraged with a myriad of treats, all of them awaiting review. You tough it out and try each one of them with Kathy's signature drink. You find them all to be spectacular. You can't really say which one is your favorite. All of them have their own amazing attributes. Could it be the raspberry eclair? Maybe the salted caramel and chocolate tart? Maybe it's that orange sunflower cookie you got to try last night. Tasting it again seems to bring the cafe to a whole nother level. I don't even know what to say. These are all perfect in their own way. You needed to be slinging these on the streets. You'll put drug dealers out of business. Yeah. The light-hearted chuckle is punctuated by silence, something that's not the wind out of Kathy's sails. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. You bow your head and say, no matter how true the drug dealer joke was, it probably was in poor taste. Huh? Oh, no. You're all good, sweetie. It's just that I appreciate you liking them so much. My husband never lets me sell these on my cafes either. But weren't you selling stuff yesterday in the park? Are you afraid your husband would be upset? I've never been one to stand down for what I love. My cooking and Tony are my life, and I'm not going to let someone take either away from me. So when the time comes, you have to meet him Please don't spill the beans, okay? I wouldn't dream of it. That being said, it sounds kinda... He has his moments, Chad. I mean, despite her stoic demeanor, Kathy stumbles over her words. There's a strange twist about her, as if she's expecting something to attack her at any moment. He likes being the boss of the family, so to speak. He has to be the one to make the money while I keep the house clean and take care of Tony. You can guess which one I care about more. Oh, I see. I know what it's like to be in that situation. My father was a man of the house as well. Are you okay with the arrangement? It's better I know, and the stern shaking at Kathy's head confirms your intuitions. I'm not. I need to make money so I can get out of it. Yeah, out of financial trouble. She looks down at the table almost as if she's expected to get reprimanded for speaking out of line. There's no way she could back out her original intentions. You have a fair idea of what she was going to say, at least you think you do. Speaking of which, do you have any money saved up, Chad? You'll need any cash to find. You'll need any cash you can find if you want to get on your feet again. I had some a couple months ago, but since I started renting, I've been living paycheck to paycheck. I'm supposed to get paid in the next few days, but we all know what happened. Oh, right. Don't let the past bring you down. Put on a brave face and go out there with your head held high. You're more capable than you give yourself credit for. I know a hard worker when I see one. She places her small hands on your knuckles. You feel the calluses on her skin. She gives you a warm smile before pulling back to collect the plates. Her words strike at your core, invigorating your soul with a brand new fire. Thank you. I needed that. You're welcome, sweetheart. Also, thanks for trying my sweets. No, thank you for making them. They're splendid. I'm glad you think so. I made them with a lot of love. So far, I haven't been able to taste them. To taste test the coffee and tweets together. Only it's way too young to be drinking coffee, so I really needed an outside perspective. Has no one tried them too? I can't be the only one. You hear the rapid pitter-pattering of feet coming from the corridor. You can already tell who it is. I'm ready, Mr. Chad. You can't help but smile as a tiny Tony sits around you. He manages to yank you out of your seat, which takes you by surprise considering his size. Whoa, hold your horses, buddy. Let me take my plate to the sink first. Don't worry, honey. I got it covered. Before you can respond, she gives you a nod, followed by a warm smile. Thanks. Come on, Mr. Chad, let's go. Let's go. Please lead Chad to the school and make sure he swings by the front office as well. I'm going to be busy here, so I won't be able to go with you. Kathy grabs a bag from the kitchen counter and makes her way to Tony. She plants a kiss on his forehead and hands it to him. He can't help but smirk at the hearts and cat faces drawn on it. Also, you mentioned you didn't have a phone last night, so take this spare phone. It has my phone number and some important contacts. You say to take the pricey looking device from her. You can put a password if you like to as well. But I just take it, Mr. Chad. We're going to be late. Before you can protest anymore, she gently places the phone in the palm of your free hand. Sorry. We'll see you later, Kathy. Thank you for everything. Tony leads you to the door, and you both exit the house. As you make your way to the sidewalk, you turn around to see Kathy waving happily at the two of you. You can see her smile fade as she closes the front door. Just what on earth am I doing? This way, Mr. Chad. We're going to go through the park. It's the fastest way to school. Alrighty, boss. Lead the way. The two of you stroll towards the park. The air is crisp, refreshing today. The rain may have chilled the air, but the morning sun is as bright as ever. Perfect jogging weather, to say the least. As the two of you make your way down a familiar path, you walk by an intersection and spot an old, decrepit house down the road to your left. Your smile begins to fade. It's scary to think that so much happened in this 24 hours. Are you okay, Mr. Chan? Look down thoughtfully, who looks worried compared to his usual carefree demeanor. It's nothing. Don't worry about it, okay? Is that the place you got kicked out of? What? How do you... Well, you told us about it yesterday, remember? It matches how you described it, and the trash bags are still there. You also look really sad when you saw the place. The small kitten points at the waterlogged trash bags on the front lawn, lazily flapping about on the grass in the distance. The steady figure from yesterday morning is standing in the safe, smoking a cigarette. At least you think that's tobacco. Before you can stare for too long, Tony tugs on your hand to get your attention. Well, you hit the nail on the head, that's for sure. Are you secretly a master detective? You're too young to be noticing things like that. The small kitten zips his lips with emotion before smiling at you. I've been watching a lot of crime shows though. My favorites are Paw and Order and First Scene Investigation. Apparently they're making another spin-off show. Really? I'm surprised that show is still going. I used to watch that show a long time ago. I've also been playing lots of detective games too. I really like the idea of being a detective when I grow up, so I've been trying to be observant, looking at how kids at school act around each other. I do this as a part too. It's kind of like in Phoenix White Pro Attorney. They always find the culprit and find the truth using the small details. You play Phoenix White too? Yeah, but only the first one though. I don't have any money to buy more consoles. I used to own a Nintendo DS a long time ago with the original trilogy. I hope we can play them one day. They're pretty great games overall. Yeah, I do too. But thanks to my detective skills and from what I learned about you, I was able to deduce you were homeless. Did I tell them I was homeless when we met? Well, I'm not anymore. Thanks to you, kid. Tony. Sure thing. Thanks, Tony. Before you two know it, you have made it to the steps of the stone pathway from yesterday. Let's head through the park, Mr. Chad. As you make your way past the front entrance, you notice it's a lot livelier in the mornings when the sun is in full display. Some people must be afraid of visiting in the evenings. Oh, I didn't get any chance to tell you this, Tony. Tell me what? It's kind of late, but it's really nice to meet you. The small kitten glances at you with a confused smile, unsure of what you meant. Mr. Chad, you already said that yesterday at this very part. Did you forget? Oh, I did. The kitten nods as the two of you continue down the walkway, passing by the bench from yesterday. This memory loss thing is messing up my mind. Well, anyways, I'm really glad we got to meet you too, Mr. Chad. You finally found someone who could help us. Help us? What do you mean by help us? Do you know how big this park is, Mr. Chad? It seems so big since it's connected to the woods. You didn't even try to answer my question. You straight up avoided it altogether. Yeah, well, the forest is basically endless. I think it was a few 100,000 acres last time I checked. Most cities stick to the coastline, so there's nothing really in the woods, not even other towns or logging camps. Whoa, neat. How do you know there's nothing there? Well, at my old job, we had to look at the map to see where to chop down good timber. Not to mention, I've been in the forest for a few minutes. Whoa. The conversation is harder as you bump into someone, making them drop a few items to the ground. Thankfully, nothing looks damaged. Sorry, sir, my bad. I didn't see you there. You quickly crouch down to help the strangely wild man collect his stuff. A med kit, alcohol, and bandages. Not that I would expect someone to be walking around with At least not without a bag. Worry not, Mr. Chad. The rope figure tries to assist you, but you're already down before he can grab an item off the stone floor. Hell, does this guy know me? You hand over the stuff to the stranger as he gingerly receives it. Thank you. It's just like I imagined. You see a glance at Thorny. He looks very perturbed by the man's demeanor. Come find me if you ever need me. The man gives you a strange bow, emotion barely visible on his face before returning to his original route. What on earth is the guy talking about? When did this town get so many weirdos? Come on, Thorny, let's go. You continue your walk with the kitten hurrying him along as the two of you speed walk away. The farther that man's from Thorny, the better. After you two are relatively far from where the conversation happened, you look at each other with confusion written on your faces. I'm going to guess you don't know that guy at all. Thorny sure is sharp. I don't think I do. But I guess he knows me alright, considering he called me by name and had no problem spouting weird nonsense. The kitten scratches his chin for a few seconds before shrugging his shoulders and smiling. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's keep going, Mr. Chad. You don't look very concerned about that guy. Are people like that common around here? The kitten squints his eyes while rubbing a flowing, imaginary beard. Mr. Chad, I'm 9 years old. I've seen a lot of weird things in this life. Oh yeah? Like what, old man? Well, yesterday I saw a weird Doberman give his prized hat to a handsome young cat. Weird Doberman, huh? He messed up with his hat playfully. Hey. The kitten snaps out of his old man charade and claps his hands over the hat. The two of you smile and laugh before continuing on your way. You only tread through the park. The rest of the path is at an incline. The back of your legs start to ache as you press on. You're surprised to see that you were led up the scenic route, being greeted by a long cliffside view of the town. The stone walkway led you up to a hillside terrace, complete with stone guardrails and benches. Thorny holds your hand and brings you to the guardrail. The view allows you to see most of the city. Look there, Mr. Chad. It's our house. Yeah, I can see that. The area to the east of Marble is full of residential houses and is coupled with the central plaza. The south is mainly just a port, of course, the endless sea. West of the city has the main road leading out of the town towards cool logs, and besides some mountains, there is nothing but deep, unending forests. There really is nothing in those woods. You look north to see some more houses with the commercial district to the right of them. It doesn't take long for Thorny to be tugging on your hand once more. Let's keep going, we're close. Until you make your way down the hill, it's definitely a lot easier this time around. You continue down one of the stone pathways and are quickly greeted by the park's northern entrance. Until you continue through the walkway, it surprises you how high the city gets, considering the two of you don't have to go down the hill. The park's northern entrance quickly approaches and bookends the path. The school's right around the corner. It takes literally one turn and soon the school is in view, no more than a couple minutes away from the park. Whoa, you weren't kidding. It's right there. It's close enough that we actually go on field trips here. That sounds like a lot of fun. I bet you and your friends have a great time here. All the hills to roll down and the woods must be fun to race. Friends? Thorny looks at you with this hardened gaze. Whatever you said hurt him more than you expected it to. I'm sorry, Thorny. I didn't mean to. No, it's okay. I'm used to it. How long have you been We're here, Thorny. You're in front of the school's gate. A lot of kids are wanting to enter a big old line wearing glasses and standing there. Looks like the principal. Can you give my mom a call? Sure. You reach into your pocket and pull out the phone. It's remarkably thin and light. It feels like a piece of glass compared to the plastic bricks you're used to. Let's see. How on earth do I turn this thing on? Is it the two buttons on the side, the button on the top, or... Don't you know how to use a phone, Mr. Chan? Well, phones have really changed a lot since I last used one. Back then they actually had buttons and numbers. I don't think I've ever used a phone like this before. You notice the kitten giving you an uncomfortably inquisitive look, almost as if he was looking at a puzzle with missing pieces. But it doesn't last long. He stretched before smiling once more. Well, have no fear, Mr. Chad. Let our master teach you the ways of the smartphone. You hold the phone towards Tony, a little embarrassed that somebody as easy as calling someone needs to be explained to you. Tony huddles next to you and shows what each button does and how to unlock the phone. It's a truly befuddling experience at first, but it doesn't take long for you to learn how to access the contacts list. Then you touch the screen where it says, Call. The kitten taps the screen, which is something you're still struggling to wrap your head around. It has all the buttons you ever need and more, but it's a solid piece of glass, so how on earth does it feel where your fingers are touching? Since we both want to hear, you press the speaker's button in. Hello? Hi, Mom. We're just letting you know we got to school safely. I'm glad to hear that, baby. I'll let you guys go since I have. Wait, Mom. You need to talk to Mr. Lorenzo. The two of you pace to an elderly-looking lion who seems distracted by the stories and parents bustling around him. Good morning, Mr. Lorenzo. Good morning, Mr. Reyes. And good morning, good sir. The man adjusts his glasses and looks over the two of you with an inquisitive look. Good morning, sir. Can I help you with something, Mr. Reyes? Tony nudges you with his elbow and nods towards the phone in your hand. You quickly nod and hold it close to the bespectacled man. Mom? Oh, good morning, Mr. Lorenzo. Tony's mom speaking. Mr. Chad here is going to pick up Tony today. Oh, why, hello, Kathy. Thank you very much for letting me know. You're very welcome, and thank you for looking out for Tony. The elderly lion nods approvingly at the two of you. You can't help but feel a little welcomed by the man. He's refined and courteous, but there isn't a hint of pretension to him. I got to get going, Mom. I'm gonna be late for class. Okay, sweetie. Have a good day, and thank you, Chan. Laters. With the call finished, you put the phone back into the safety of your pocket. You got this in the bag. Have a great day, champ. Tony fist bumps you with his signature smile. Thanks, you too, bro. Be sure to pick me up at 5 p.m. See you later, Tony. See ya. You rest your weight on the entrance gate as the kitten runs into the large school. Before you leave, Mr. Lorenzo sees you off with a bow and a smile. You wave back to the lion before walking away from the gate. Okay, so, what now? With your main objective accomplished, you're left wandering adrift with no clear direction. You casually stroll on the sidewalk, heading further from the school. Well, I have no money, so I can't really go to many places. If that's the case, I should look for any places that are hiring unskilled labor. Whoa. Something hard and heavy charges into you from behind, striking the back of your head. You try your damnedest to remain on equal footing, but you lose your balance and land flat on your ass. Toto will probably be disappointed. You're just glad he's not here to maul your cheeks. Unless the same box that struck your head collides on your other head, landing firmly on your quads. Hey, watch where you're going. The voice is remarkably rude considering they crashed into you. You rode your scalp to alleviate the pain. The damn thing must have hit you for a corner. Oh, shoot. Bro, you okay? This time around, the voice seems a lot more cordial. Look up to see a white rabbit who quickly places the two massive cardboard boxes on the ground. The young woman approaches you with an outstretched arm. Yes, Hey, will you be so kind as to give me? Before you can grab it, her hand points to your crotch. That package? You take it back, stopped even, for less than half a second to understand what she actually meant. You hand her the comparatively small box between your legs. Thanks. Sorry. No worries, mate. Let me help you out. Still, try to be more careful this time. You might get hurt. I'm sorry again. It will do. Hold up. What? The white rabbit gently extends her arm once again. This time you're able to accept it. She's remarkably strong as she pulls you up. That or your diet or eating virtually nothing is making you a lot lighter. Alright, see you next time, Mr. Muscle W boy. You shake your head with a spread while dusting yourself off. Yes, shit. The thin rabbit uses all her might to lift up two massive boxes. You need some help with that? Remarkably, she's able to fully lift the boxes above her waist once again. It quickly becomes apparent that the two tall boxes are completely blocking her line of sight. There's no way she can see where she's going. Don't worry, I got this. This will take more than a couple of seconds for her to find her next victim. Oh, she runs into another poor soul from behind. The man stumbles forward, his phone bouncing and sliding on the asphalt sidewalk with a bone-chilling crunch. Hey, watch where you're going. What the hell? You made me drop my phone. How about you watch where you're going next time? Huh? Excuse me? You're the one staring at your phone instead of looking at where you're walking. You got to be joking, right? He was just standing in front of her as she crashed into him. Why you quickly helped the two of them pick up the man's phone from the ground. You hand it to him, but he's too pissed to be appreciative. Stopping and furious raised past the two of you. The bunny shrugs the argument off, looking content at her ill-gotten victory. She picks up the boxes once again and starts on her route once more. Look down the sidewalk and see the two poor souls ahead, walking towards the rabbit this time around. You got to do something. Let me help you with those boxes. There's no sweat on my back. She halts her walking and looks back at you. Well, if you insist, my sock's really close to here. She hands the two massive boxes into your waiting arms. She keeps the lightest of the packages to herself. Just be careful with those. Good God. These are way heavier than I thought I could barely carry. Something wrong, buddy? The rabbit turns to you with a marginally concerned look. You're not sure if it's genuine, however. No, nothing at all. Well then, let's get going. It's only 2 streets away. The rabbit strolls with a carefree demeanor while you're left lugging the packages. She's glad to see that no one else will fall victim to her boxes. Until you cross the road and set forth down the street, leading back to the park. You recognize this route. It's headed to a more commercial area of town. She has a stop in the market district. So how about we get to know one another, shall we? Sure thing. You quickly adjust the heavy boxes in your arms, worried you might drop them on your feet. So, Muscle W boy, you got a name? Chad Harmon. What about you? And Jenny, but you can call me Big Package Girl. She turns and winks at you coyly. I'll just stick to Jenny, thanks. Harmon, huh? Where have I heard that name before? What do you mean by that? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. So, tell me, Mr. Muscle W boy. Chad. Yes, Chad. What were you doing before you decided to get your hands on my big package? Well, I took a kid to school. I was about to start looking for a new job in. A job? She turns to you on a dime, her eyes glowing with enthusiasm, or maybe it's malice. She skips in place, finding her hands before pointing one at you. It looks like she's about to pitch you a new car weight loss supplement. Oh my gosh, you're so lucky, Muscle W boy. Lucky? Did I ever have any luck to begin with? Nope. Okay, maybe a little. Chad, because I was just looking for a waiter as muscular and handsome as you. The boy's knees seem to quiver as he stares you down, head to toe. For a rabbit, she's really looking at you like a piece of meat. What on earth is she thinking about? You're the perfect specimen. You'll attract every kind of client to my cafe. I'm sure you'll do great. Oh God. Is this the female version of Toto? And here we are. Jenny proudly stands in front of her cafe, striking a pose and beaming with pride. It's a dilapidated building. It literally looks worse than your old apartment. Wooden planks are nailed over the windows with the words foreclosed spray painted over them. Whoever put these up didn't want people going inside. It doesn't surprise you considering the neighborhood you were living in a day ago. A barber shop is situated to the left of the cafe with an older gentleman sweeping up what looks like dust and fur. He's nice enough to wave at the two of you before continuing his work. Way back before looking to the right of you. A brand new apartment building sits proudly in the morning sunlight, likely home for the people who are starting the bright futures ahead of them. Jenny has made her way to the worn front door, rummaging through her pockets. The wood looks like it is made from pallets. It's been there for a few years at least. There are some flyers nailed to the pieces of wood as well, acting as a makeshift bulletin board. Jenny has made her way to the worn front door, rummaging through her pockets. The wood looks like it's made from pallets. It's been there for a few years at least. There are some flyers nailed to the pieces of wood as well, acting as a makeshift bulletin board. Where did I put that key again? Time has worn out many of the advertisements, with their ink being faded to the point of obscurity. There are old listings for local events, grand openings, flea markets, and missing kids. The maroon missing text of one of them catches your eye. The image is mostly torn. A young dog with glasses, smiling. The hell? Found them. The bunny's voices whip you from your concentration, her enthusiastic waving demanding your full attention. Okay, let me push it in, and there we go. As the door creaks open, light begins to fill the large room. Once you're inside, Jenny turns on the room's lights. Well, here's my baby. The place more than likely used to be a bar. Sadly, no one's going to be getting wasted here. Gaping holes make transversing deeper into this nightmare. The only flooring that isn't ruined has tables stacked on top of them. The opposite side of the room has some boxes nearby to the left. The bar's tabletop is cracked and splintered with some old stools still in front of it. Lastly, the back end of the bar has 3 doorways and a staircase leading up to another floor. Leave those boxes over there, handsome. Thank you so much. You place the massive packages next to the others, glad you don't have to go deep into the bar. Ironically, the boxes Jenny was using as a battering ram on the sidewalk have fragile written on them repeatedly. You stretch backwards, glad those boxes are no longer a problem. As you're flexing your muscles, You feel a thin finger poke you from behind. You turn around and face the bunny, who's hopping side to side with something in her arms. You've earned this. You accept a small gift from the bunny's outstretched hands. She blushes as you look it over. Thanks. So, about my offer. Are you interested? I'm a little new to this whole starting your own business thing, but I'm sure we can learn together. I can only let you know the details once you accept the offer. Yeah. He doesn't give me job details in advance. Before you can say no, she holds one of your hands in hers and looks at you with an admittedly adorable look. Please say yes, muscle double boy. I need you. She needs me. She barely knows me. Well, she seems nice enough, and a job is a job. I guess I could try. Hell yeah! I swear you won't regret this, Chad. It's Chad. Oh, okay. Alrighty, first things first, the basics. As you can see, this place needs some fixing to be done. Let's bring this the best cafe of this goddamn town. So, looks like Chad just got himself a new job. Working in a cafe. He was looking around town for a job, so looks like he got what he wanted. Lucky for him, he ran to Jenny, I think his name is. And that poster, that missing poster on the building, where the wood is nailed to the windows. It has an old missing paper on it, and I think that's Chad. That's certainly what Chad looked like as a child from a decade ago. So apparently somebody reported him missing 10 years ago. So that was probably Fred who reported Chad missing. So about the mother, when Chad and Tony left, she said to herself, what am I doing? So I think what she meant was, why was she probably was thinking to herself, why was she doing all this for Chad? I'm not sure if that's the reason why she said that, but that's what I'm guessing. Why I'm going out of my way out for this complete stranger. And based on the way she described her husband seemed to be a very domineering type, always in control, always expecting obedience from his wife and son, and she seems to be fearful of her husband. So the husband probably also abuses them as well. Now they live in a nice part of town, in a nice home, so apparently the husband must have a very good paying job. Because the husband has a good paying job, he probably uses that to justify his abusive behavior towards his family. In his mind, he probably thinks, well, I got this nice job, I give you a nice house and a nice living, so in return you have to obey me and respect me. Like he expects them to revere him, but they expect, like the husband expects his wife and son to revere him because he's giving him he's given them a good life. Apparently, that's how a lot of people are, a lot of men are. And women could be like that too, but men certainly, when they're the breadwinner and when they provide a good living to their families, they think they have good reason to dominate them because they're giving them a good life. Well, that's a good standard of living, economically. So they use that to subjugate their family members, their wife and son. So we certainly have seen a lot of smiles from her and Tony. Their lives aren't exactly that good. So and the husband's gonna be back soon, so I wonder how that is going to affect Chad. I mean, the husband's not gonna be happy that his wife has been letting this strange man live in their home. So that's gonna be kind of interesting to see. But apparently she told Chad that he should be prepared for when the husband gets back. So it's not like she told Chad that he should leave before the husband gets there. She just says that he should be prepared for like when the husband gets back. So maybe the husband is not that bad, or maybe she thinks she might think Chad can handle his own against her husband. I have no idea, but I don't think it's a good idea for Chad to be there once the husband gets back, because that can turn out to be very nasty or very bad for Chad. And Chad's long lost friend Fred found him in the forest, and he seems to really miss Chad and wants to be reunited with him. But Chad pushed Fred away and told him to leave him alone. And Fred managed to lift Chad up with one arm, with one hand. So he's a very strong guy, and he lifted Chad up with one hand and told him that he should quit screwing around and just come back. He's been looking for him for the past 10 years, and he wants the two of them to be back together. And for some reason, Chad has something against Fred. I think Fred did something years ago that upset Chad, and maybe it's because of that he doesn't want to talk to Fred anymore. So we're gonna have to see what happens between them. We'll figure out next time. And one more thing, when the wife told Chad about her husband, Chad also told her that his father was very similar. His father was the same way, that he was very domineering. His father was very domineering, and he always demanded respect from Chad because, he's living, probably because he probably has a good life, a good job also. So he probably expects Chad to revere and respect him as well. So apparently Chad's dad is similar to her husband. I forgot her name. The fact that Chad had a domineering father. So that's all for now. Next time we'll get to see Chad at his new job. We'll also get to see him and Fred. Well, I don't know when, but at some point we'll get to see him and Fred together again at some point. And we'll get to see more of Tony and his mother. So all the information for the game. And wait a minute. Another thing, that hooded man in the park, that big hooded man with the whiskers, it seems like somehow he knows Chad. I don't know how, but it seems like he somehow knew Chad. So maybe you might see some more of him later on. So that's all I have to say for Will now. All the information for the games is description box below. And you can click these links here on the left bottom corner of the screen here. This is Twitter, this is Discord, this is Itch.io, and this is Patreon. Thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.